It was early in the morning on Sodor, and the engines were getting ready for their day's duties. Percy stopped to the coal loader to get his supply of coal for the day, and left. Thomas, however, didn't stop for coal. He just went straight on. But he was being watched. Tom Moss the prank engine, the naughtiest engine on Sodor, was watching from his tunnel and had noticed that Thomas never actually used the coal loader. Where does he get his coal from? Thought Tom Moss, and he decided to follow Thomas. Now up ahead was an old quarry. It wasn't the narrow gauge Blue Mountain quarry, but an old standard gauge one. Now only Thomas knew that the coal loader here had some really good quality coal in it that made Thomas feel good. He got his coal, but Tom Moss had now discovered his secret. So this is where he comes, Tom Moss thought to himself. Thomas started his day's duties, and Tom Moss slipped back into his tunnel to think up some mischief. The next day, Thomas went to the coal loader in the quarry again. Oh, that's bad news. Tom Moss's tunnel's empty. Thomas turned into the coal loader. Disaster! Rocks fell all over him. Somebody had replaced a lot of the coal with rocks. Thomas was stuck. He was going nowhere. And now Tom Moss was coming to see how his prank had turned out. He laughed and left. Percy was looking for Thomas everywhere. Eventually, he went to the quarry entrance. He heard Thomas's whistle. "There you are, Thomas," said Percy. "I've been looking everywhere." "Oh dear, I think you need some help." He steamed off backwards. Shortly afterwards, Digging Rig Sam arrived. "Oh dear, Thomas." "Don't worry, I'll get you out." And he started scooping the rocks out of the way. In no time at all, Thomas was free. He thanked Sam, and Sam left. Thomas left the quarry without any coal, but quickly made it to the regular coal loader and filled up. Percy was waiting for Thomas as he pulled up. "Thank you for getting me help, Percy. That was very kind. I won't get any more coal from the quarry." They both steamed off. But then Thomas saw Tom Moss in his tunnel. "You," he said. Tom Moss realised he'd been seen and made a run for it. Thomas chased, but Tom Moss had disappeared. One day, he said. Thanks for watching our story, which used the Trackmaster Busy Quarry set. Every time Thomas goes through the coal loader or quarry loader, the coal in his truck flips from empty to full and full to empty, which worked well every time. The engines and people of Sodor were excited. Thomas was bringing some of the stars of the film Cars for them to see up close. "Just one last tunnel," said Thomas. He steamed into the station to the cheer of the crowd. The cars were unloaded, but something was wrong. "These aren't the real cars," said someone from the crowd. "Who are they?" And two men stepped forward to find out. I recognised that laugh. Thought so. Tom Moss the prank engine, the naughtiest engine on Sodor. What have you done, and where are the real cars? The two men started pulling the imposter cars apart, one by one. The imposters were all revealed, but where were the real cars? Percy then caught a glimpse of Tom Moss in the tunnel. "It's Tom Moss!" shouted Percy. "He's got them!" Realising he'd been seen, Tom Moss made a run for it. "Don't worry, Percy," said Thomas. "I think I know where the real cars are." Thomas backed the empty trucks into the tunnel. He then steamed forward with all the cars on display to a cheer from the crowd. Everyone was pleased to see the cars.
Teo and his friends had a day off, so they wanted to have some fun. They all had a Play-Doh version of themselves made. "Let's prank Thomas," suggested Teo, so they did. "Quick, he's coming! Hide!" "Hello, Rogie," said Thomas. "I can give you a lift to the bus station if you want." The Play-Doh Rogie said nothing, but Thomas put him on his truck anyway, and off he went. "Boo! But you what?" said a confused Thomas. "That's just a Play-Doh model," explained Rogie. "Open it, there's something inside." It was Olaf inside. "Very good," said Thomas, "but I've got to get back to work. Bye." And off he went. Teo was up next. He hid behind a log and waited for Thomas. "Oh, hello Teo," Thomas said to the Play-Doh Teo. "Rogie just pulled a prank on me." "Oh well, it was very good. Would you like a lift to the bus station?" "Yes please," replied the real Teo. So Thomas, thinking the Play-Doh model was the real Teo, loaded it onto his truck and off he went. "Boo! Got you again, Thomas." "But you... Oh, not again." So they opened the model.
Whoop. Ooh, that's better. Hello.
Stuart was inside. "Right, back to work," said Thomas. Lanny went next. "Hey Lanny, your friends are pulling pranks on me." The model said nothing. "I know, I was speechless too. Do you want a lift to the bus station?" And off they went. "Boo! Oh, I can't believe I fell for that again." Inside was Dusty. "I've still got lots of work to do," said Thomas. Garny was last to go. "Hello, Garny." "Wait a second. You're a Play-Doh model too, aren't you?" He said nothing. "I knew it," said Thomas. "Just kidding," said Garny, startling Thomas. "Fooled you again, Thomas. Here's my Play-Doh model." So Thomas loaded it onto his truck and off he went to open it. Baby Smurf was inside. "Don't worry, Thomas, that's it," said Teo. "I can't believe you fool me every time," he replied, and they all laughed.
It was raining. Thomas, James and Percy were hard at work. Then the rain stopped, but the next problem was mud. And with no rain to wash it off, the engines got covered in mud. "Now, engines," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Victor is still fixing the engine wash, so you'll have to wait until the morning to get clean." Gordon was lucky. He arrived back clean. Victor eventually fixed the wash, but the engines were already resting for the night. The next morning they headed straight for the engine wash. Percy went in first. The mud was washed off, but...
Hello, I'm Thomas.
Oh dear, Percy thinks he's Thomas. James went next.
Hello, I'm Percy.
He came out talking like Percy.
I'm James. I'm the brightest red engine on Sodor.
Thomas came out talking like James. "Oh, what did I do to deserve this?" said Gordon. "They have all gone mad."
I'm James. I like delivering the mail. I'll jump in a puff to be there on time.
Victor was called to sort out the wash. "I don't understand it," he said. But what nobody knew was that the engine wash had a visitor very early in the morning. Tom Moss the prank engine, I might have known. Victor thought that he'd fixed it again. Percy tried it.
I'm James.
Oh no, this time he thinks he's James and it's made him go like a rocket. "Slow down, Percy." Same thing happened to James,
Hello, I'm Thomas.
who this time thought he was Thomas. Thomas came out talking like Percy.
Hello, I'm Percy.
A little more adjustment, thought Victor.
Hello, I'm Percy. Bust my buffers. I'm a busy engine. I'm James. I'm the brightest red engine on Sodor. Hello, I'm Thomas.
This time it worked. When Thomas came out at normal speed, he saw Tom Moss in the tunnel. "You," he said. Tom Moss realised he'd been seen and made a run for it. By the time Thomas had turned round, Tom Moss had gone. Thanks for watching our story. featuring 3 of the Trackmaster talking engines that chuff around the track, randomly saying well-known phrases.
I must go fast. There's no time for delay.
They don't usually say they're the wrong engine. We just mixed it up a little for the story. Percy had been sent to the old castle. There had been reports of noise coming from it. Percy arrived and had a good look around. Just a disused castle. Nobody here. And off he went. The castle had been taken over by minions, and with no one around, they started partying. However, they were hungry and needed bananas. It was Halloween and they were going trick-or-treating, but needed a train to get them to the nearest village. Who would volunteer for such a mission? I might have known. Tom lost the prank engine. It could only be you. Off they set for the village. They arrived at the first house.
Trick or treat. Banana?
Pepper gave them a banana.
Yay!
But where to put it?
Idea. Wait.
Problem solved, and on to the second house.
Trick or treat. Yay!
Another banana. And so it went on, house after house, collecting bananas.
Trick or treat. Yay!
Then they arrived at a candy house and went up to the door.
Ooh!
A wicked witch answered.
Trick or treat. Banana?
Now take your pick, said the witch. She had the biggest banana the minions had ever seen.
Yay!
Naturally, minions being minions, took the biggest one. And then the smallest one as well. Enjoy, said the witch. The minions couldn't believe their luck and headed straight back to the castle.
Bananas! Bananas!
When they arrived, they unloaded their prize banana to show everyone. Then one of the minions just couldn't wait. He went to bite it and it exploded in his face, throwing banana and green gunge everywhere. The minions had certainly been tricked.
Thomas was in a good mood. Sir Topham Hatt had asked for him to deliver some very special cargo. Some workers had found some long-lost treasure in a cave. "I need you to deliver this treasure to the museum, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt. "No problem," he replied, and he reversed the truck into place and watched the workers load the treasure. Unfortunately, someone else had their eye on the treasure. Tom Moss, the prank engine. Tom Moss rushed over and ran away with the treasure. The workers were devastated. "Go get him, Thomas," one of them said. So a furious Thomas steamed off in pursuit of Tom. Tom headed towards Islesborough Dock to load the treasure onto skiff so he could escape with it. But Thomas was catching up quickly. So once the treasure was loaded, Tom ran away, leaving the truck behind. In his haste, Thomas got himself stuck in the shallow water. Despite being covered in seaweed, Thomas went for the treasure. As he reached the top, Skiff started heading down the ramp towards the water. But when he reached the water, he hit a huge wave, launching the treasure high into the air. Luckily, it landed straight into the truck. "Oh bother," said Skiff. "Nice try," said Thomas, "but I'm going to take the treasure to the museum where it belongs." And off he went. "Well done, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt. "You did really well." Nearby, Tom Moss retreated back into the woods, but I don't think that's the last we've seen of him. I'm Dave, and thank you for watching my story, which featured the new Trackmaster Treasure Chase set from Fisher-Price. It works by loading the treasure onto Skiff, and when the seaweed-covered Thomas passes, Skiff gets released and rolls down the ramp. When he hits the water, the spring-loaded treasure launches up into the air, and when Thomas runs over the water, he stops and splashes around until the barrel is pressed down to release him. It was a beautiful day, and Thomas was transporting some digging equipment. Nearby, Tom Moss the prank engine was having a little giggle to himself. He'd done something naughty again, which Thomas would soon find out. Meanwhile, Thomas had to halt his journey. The path he was going to take was closed. "Oh well," said Thomas. "I've never been the other way before. I'm sure it will be fine." And on he went. The track led to a strange tunnel. When Thomas emerged, he had no idea where he was. He was in some dark, scary world, and he had no idea how to get back. Suddenly, Thomas could hear a distinctive laugh nearby. Tom reversed down the tunnel, with Thomas in pursuit. When Thomas emerged, he stopped. He was relieved to be back, but he couldn't see Tom anywhere. Was that a bad dream? He wondered. But the dinosaur marks on his sides were definitely real. So Thomas left to deliver the equipment. Once he'd done that, he was desperate for a wash to put this whole thing behind him. I'm Dave, and thanks for watching my video, which featured the Thomas Spooky track set from Fisher-Price. The track is slightly smaller than the regular Trackmaster track, and it has a different connection. However, it does come with an adapter to the old brown Trackmaster track. The set comes with a special, also slightly smaller, Thomas. Thomas tilts the track and then goes through the dinosaur cave. He then passes the green lever, which resets the track, and finally he goes through the spooky purple house, whose arm falls when Thomas emerges.
It was a beautiful morning in Bikini Bottom, and the Krusty Krab restaurant was as usual extremely busy. Plankton was not, however, in a very good mood. His restaurant, the Chum Bucket, wasn't very busy, and this made Plankton very, very annoyed. If only I could get hold of the secret ingredient in SpongeBob's Krabby Patty, then my restaurant would be more successful, he thought. Ah, here comes Patrick. If I'm clever, I can find out what the secret ingredient is. So when Patrick passed by, Plankton called out to him. Hey Patrick, do you know what the secret ingredient in SpongeBob's Krabby Patty is? He asked. You can't catch me out, smiled Patrick. I'm certainly not going to tell you that it's in a bottle on the top shelf of the kitchen. Oh, whoops, did I say too much? No. It's fine, he thought, and went on his way. Brilliant, thought Plankton. All I have to do is to sneak into the kitchen and steal the bottle that is on the top shelf of the kitchen. Now to find a disguise, and off he went, feeling very pleased with himself. What Plankton didn't realise was that Sandy was hiding behind some weed and had heard the entire conversation. He won't get away with that, she thought. I must go and warn SpongeBob. So she quickly went into the Krusty Krab. Once Sandy was in the kitchen, she told SpongeBob all about Plankton's evil plan to steal the secret ingredient. Don't worry, Sandy, SpongeBob reassured her. I have a plan. And so relieved, Sandy sat down and ordered a Krusty Patty and some fries. It wasn't long before a very strange object began scuttling towards the Krusty Krab. It was Plankton, disguised as a Krabby Patty. No one will suspect a thing, he thought. This disguise is brilliant. And he went into the restaurant and hid in the corner. Slowly, Plankton started to make his way over to the kitchen. Suddenly, Patrick saw something move out of the corner of his eye. "What was that?" he said. "Oh, it's just a Krabby Patty," he chuckled. "Did I just see something move?" questioned Sandy, as she too turned around. "No, it's just a Krabby Patty," smiled Patrick to Sandy. "Oh, okay," said Sandy. "This is just too easy," Plankton chuckled to himself as he entered the kitchen. SpongeBob was busy frying patties. But he also turned around when he thought he saw something move behind him. "No, it's just a Krabby Patty," he said, and carried on frying. Plankton could see the bottle on the shelf, and he quickly took it and hastily made his way out of the restaurant. "Success!" he shouted. "Now to remove my disguise and make my very own Krabby Patty with a secret ingredient added." With a bottle ready, Plankton poured some sauce onto the patty. He then took a big bite. "Ah!" he shouted. "My mouth is on fire! I've been tricked! This isn't the secret ingredient!" And he quickly ran off to cool his mouth down. Behind some weed they could be heard chuckling, and SpongeBob, Sandy and Patrick appeared looking very amused. "That was a brilliant plan, substituting the secret ingredient for extra hot chili sauce," smiled Sandy. "Thanks," cried SpongeBob. "I don't think he'll be bothering us for quite a while," and they all laughed. Thank you for watching our story. To see more, click on any of these clips and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.